Hello everyone. In today's video I wanted to go through a short breakdown of the creation process of this giant sequoia. I used Substance Designer to create the bark material, and everything else is made in SpeedTree. The first thing that I do for bark textures is to change the aspect ratio to something that gives me more space on the y-axis. In this case is 2K by 8K. Next we have the base pattern of the bark. One way to do this would be using the tile sampler with some paraboloids. Make sure to not increase the random rotation too much, as you will lose the direction of the patterns. I have 3 patterns, each having a different scale. And then I blend these together. Next I have the first processing part. Here I use a slope blur to give a nice shape to the margins of the patterns. And then I have 2 non-uniform directional warps, each with different noises and different angles. This will help to kinda blend the patterns together. Then a slope blur again. So far we have big and medium details, and with this directional noise I am bringing in the first layer of fine details. Then I have a second processing part with a slope blur, 2 non-uniform directional warps, and a slope blur again. This will further blend and shape everything, including the first layer of fine details. And the last thing I do for the height map is to add one more layer of fine details. I have 2 noises which I warp to conform them to the pattern. I added a slight blur, and then I subtract this from the pattern. For the color map, I have multiple gradient maps blended together. The first one is from a curvature smooth node. The second one is just using the height map. And then I blend these 2 together. For gradient number 3, I have converted the so far color map into a grayscale map, extracted the curvature smooth, added some color to it, and then I subtracted this from the main gradient. And for the last gradient I have the same thing as for gradient number 3. The only thing that is changed is the blending mode, which is set to multiply. The last thing I do for the color map is to overlay a grunge noise for variation. Then I increase the brightness and I sharpen everything a bit.